So right now, we're talking to young men. The man is out of school. The young man is graduated from school, right? And he doesn't have a job, and he has been applying. So, what do we ask that man to do? What I would advise them to do is any job, ridiculous at all, pick that job and zero your mind. You may have to do it for the next 3 to 6 months and save as much as possible.
Then after saving.
To save as much as, because you need money, because finding a job is a full-time job.
Okay, assuming let's practical. Okay, if the guy is earning 20 grand, let's assume he manages to save 10K. Now, after
Are you sure?
I'm just
transport.
Okay, I'm just saying
to like
that's
boycott some things.
That's how
let's say
saying.
boycotting other things.
Let me just say he's trying to save half of the salary, sure.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming it's very ridiculous. Let's say he's saving 20, saving 20, saving 10. Now, let's assume the guy does that stuff for 6 months, like you said. That's 60K. What do you advise the guy to do with the 60K? Is it to move out of that place?
No, I won't advise the guy to move out of the place, but I will tell him that whether I like you or not, he needs to have. You need tools to be able to apply for jobs. You need internet access.
Yes.
Right. You need to be able to transport yourself to job interviews.
Yeah.
You need at least one piece of clothing that you keep
Interview
aside
worthy.
somewhere, interview worthy.
Oh, yeah.
For a long time, you're laughing. It sounds ridiculous.
I get what you're saying.
People have to follow process. Not everybody is going to start with a silver spoon in his mouth.
Yeah, sure.
Sometimes you're going to start out with your first set of tools, and your first set of tools will build the next set.
Yeah.
Okay. For a long time in my wardrobe and all that, I had one particular suit. I always had a suit that was brand new, that I never worn. I just kept there. All right, and I will only wear that suit when I probably had to do maybe a product pitch or pitch for a project and all that. A lot of times, we've done stuff. I think there was a young man who came for a particular interview, if you recall, that came in native also.
I remember.
And I think came with not bedroom slippers also, or leather, one funny.
I remember the guy.
Remember the guy? I know. So, and unfortunately, jobs, they tend to be very, very competitive in the sense that because there are lots of people who are graduating and there are few opportunities, few shots. So whatever it is, whatever job the person gets, just get the first job out the door and save as much as you can. If your job affords you internet access, or if you find a place in which you can either borrow data or get free Wi-Fi to apply for the person, you just take it. Because the first thing in the first 6 months to 1 year, all right, is to get a job that will afford you some form of breathing space. And you need to get your first job to get that. Okay, that's one.
Yeah, that's one.
Secondly, if you get a job, second also is also, even if it's not stated, look for opportunities for training within the job, within the role. People, okay, and I'll give practical examples. So, for example, let's assume the person lands a job in a grocery store, maybe somewhere like a Grand Square or Grocery Bazaar.
Yeah, like a mall.
Like a mall or whatever. The person should as much as possible try to get himself posted to the bakery.
Why?
Why? Because learning to bake or learning how to work bakery tools and all that will take you out of manual work. Because usually what happens is this, the very first jobs that people have, you're competing people who have not gone to, who don't have tertiary education. And the disadvantage you have is they probably have been doing the job longer than you. So they have more experience
in that job
than you, despite your tertiary education. I met a particular lady who was who graduated and for years. In fact, funny story, I picked her up twice. The first time I picked her up and all that, she had this, what do you call this Bob Marley.
Afro.
Was Bob Marley. She did Bob Marley and all that.
This
dread. Is this more dread?
That one the weave.
May God forgive me. I picked her up. I just, someone waved me down and I gave her.
Picked her up or give her a
I gave her a ride. I gave her a ride.
Picked her up, yeah.
So I gave her a ride. Okay, so she waved me down. I gave her a ride. And as I gave her a ride, I was looking at the girl. I told her, I said, you're going to think I'm a prophet, but I know some things about you. She said, like what? I said, for example, I knew that this morning, when you had your bath, you batted with a blue sponge. She looked at me as if I'm a prophet also.
Based on the future.
How could I know that? And I told her, I said, because a strand of the sponge is still in your hair. Okay, then we got talking, and then she told me how she graduated from a school. I think it was in She went to school in Benin Republic or so, and all that. She graduated. I can't remember the degree she came out with, and then she came back and said she has been going up and down looking for jobs. She said that even as she's talking to me, she's extremely hungry. She had not eaten that morning. Then she woke up with hunger and all manner of things.
And this around evening time, where?
This was early in the morning. She didn't eat the day before.
Okay.
She woke up hungry and all that and that.
Do 010.
So she told me all manner of things. The job that she told me about. We're not started working on some of the projects we're working on. This was like 4 or 5 years ago and all that. So, and then we got talking. And the next thing she told me was that she told me a couple of jobs she has done. That she picked a factory job. The job was 40K or so back then. And then she was doing the job 4 years ago. Job was paying 40K. And there were people in the factory did not like her. So why would don't like it? Because they're looking at her that they said they tell her that you went to school. And they also they did not go to school. And yes, that's why all your school is still came back to be dragging this factory work with us. And I was trying to encourage her that, well, so what said she gave up the job because she got tired of the insults and all that. So right now she was going up and down looking for a better paying job. That was where we met and we got talking, and I think we exchanged phone number. I told her to call me or so, and she didn't call. About 3 years ago, about 3 years after, I met her again around the same spot. So when she flashed me,
She was waiting for you.
when she flashed, I gave her a lift again. Said, I've given you a lift before. And I said,
3 years after.
3 years
3 days
after.
after.
3 years.
Some
I figured out she was simple because she had this kind of scum behavior that she was
okay.
and all that. And I told her a couple of her story, the Benin Republic story, and every single thing. They said that apparently that's the way she transports herself. She gets rides.
So you can't remember.
She
your feelings.
flashes.
remember.
She takes free ride, going, coming every day.
Agba each
She takes free.
hiking. Agba in
Each hiking.
Bro.
So next thing she told me that, do I want to buy life insurance or so? I'm like, what happened? Life, she said she's selling life insurance now. She's working with her phone rang, said it's her boss from work or whatever, and every single thing. That the pay is terrible and all that. She complained about the job and everything. I said, okay, well, 3 years. Factory work. She's working in life insurance right now.
Oh shit.
You're saying it's hard. And that's for a woman. That's for a woman who has a payment system that is
Globally
illegal.
accepted.
Globally accepted.
Do you get? So for you as a young man that you're on your
Global
own,
payment
Baba,
system.
you get. So, but the point is this. So that's why I would say. I'd say that they need a mate. So fresh out of school, pick up a job, any job at all, so that you still have you always have internet access. You have
So if the guy now, I get okay after probably I've been applying for 1 year, 2 years because it's not like, so what.
He should
Is there something-
upskill. He should upskill within the industry, whatever industry he finds himself,
Okay, with the tools that he has gathered.
with the tools that are available there. You
Okay.